Hail Prophet, my name is Omegas, and today I want to talk about Magick Theory, elite magic in general. Excuse me, and what I mean by elite magic is that there are many different branches in magic in regards to people's personal truths and how to go about practicing magic and how to utilize it. But what I'm going to try to do is talk about the very base so that everyone of every different, I guess, field of practice can at least relate to what I'm going to say. Okay, so the main concept with magic is manifestation, right? You want to bring about a certain intention, a certain conclusion, or a certain circumstance. The best way that I would describe this is a mathematical formula. If you've been in high school, maybe even middle school, what they would have is a mathematical equation of like, you know, 2x plus 3 over 5 equals y squared, and the purpose of this was to try to get x and y as close together as possible. This side of the equation would represent your ritual or your spell, while this side of the equation represents the outcome or the conclusion that you're trying to manifest. Because whether you are a Christian praying or whether you are a practitioner of magic doing a ritual, the goal is to manifest the intention. So the reason why math is so important in regards to ritual is because I call it mathemagic, because when we do an action, it is sending data into the universe, even if it's whether ritual or even social interaction. If I say this sentence in this way with this body language to your personality with this already charged situation, it will equal this outcome. Now, there's a thing in science called, or a thing in physics called the string theory. And what the string theory talks about is how this atom and this atom or particle that are not technically touching, if you affect this one will then be altered or affected, and therefore it is connected by an invisible string. So the theory with this is that if we perform an act, whether it's prayer, meditation, or ritual, it will then affect something that is outside of our personal influence. Now, the problem here is that, according to my theory, is that if someone is trying to, I'm going to use black magic in general because black magic to me is the quickest way to see a tangible truth, to see if what you're doing is even accurate, because anyone can try to bless someone, but good things happen to people eventually. So it's hard to like connect dots saying, was this circumstance, was this random, was this a random occurrence, or did my spell actually manifest? But with black magic, trying to bring about a certain misfortune on someone, it is more easy to see whether or not those are the results, the direct results of your said ritual. Now, when it comes to natural law, when it comes to a ritual in regards to bringing misfortune upon someone, it's, in my opinion, you need to take natural order into account or into consciousness, because if I am trying to have an average adult, let's say the age of 25, to have a heart attack, that would be very unlikely, because usually someone who is 25 is already fairly healthy. So it would be harder for natural law and natural order to bring about the said circumstance. However, if you are trying to curse someone who is an alcoholic, it would be more convenient to try to do a ritual to say, I want him to be at a bar or her to be at a bar and to drink excessively and then drive under the influence, fall asleep at the wheel, and then hit a tree. That is more probable and more likely to happen if based on that person's already existing pattern of behavior. So now when it comes to performing rituals, if something doesn't work, it's either you need to go back to the drawing board, because either something isn't being done correctly or it was completely wrong altogether. What I what I do is that if something fails, I do a follow-up ritual where I put the said failed spell on trial, because it's like, hey, universe, explain what's going on, or reveal what is wrong with this mathematical formula. I can't go into specific detail here because that's more behind closed doors. I don't want to get too much off into my own personal endeavors and practices, but I believe that all things should be thoroughly analyzed and thoroughly questioned before we just come up with a conclusion, because the moment that we form a conclusive opinion is the moment that we could possibly be embracing ignorance. And what I mean by that is saying, like, oh, it failed, that means that it won't work at all. Well, that means that we're closing the possibility of, hey, we may have done a misstep or a miscalculation, etc. If you like this video, please let me know. It's already long enough, but depending on the responses to this video, I can go into my own personal theories, what I call like the rotational dimension theory, and what I'm trying to achieve in regards to my grand pursuit in magic and rituals and all this stuff. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope that it was informative, lucrative, whatever. If you have any personal truths of your own, feel free to share them. I would love to hear your thoughts, and I can always learn from other people. A little, I guess, tidbit of stuff what I do, since I don't believe in the rule of three, where like if you bless someone, you'll be blessed back 3 times, or if you curse someone 3 times, the amount of misfortune will come upon you, because I've yet to see it. But regardless, when I do rituals, I symbolically or metaphorically cut my hand open, saying I'm willing and ready to embrace any type of pain that comes, because progress takes sacrifice. That is a natural law. Because if I want to be more productive, I have to sacrifice my indolence or sacrifice my lazy behaviors. If I want to be more social, I have to sacrifice my fear of interacting with people. Or if I want to get more sleep, I have to sacrifice my time on the computer, etc. So it is a natural law, therefore, as above, so below, as taught by the Freemasonry or any esoteric society. String theory, connect the dots. Okay, I'm done ranting. I hope you like this video, and yeah, dab on your haters. See you guys next time. All right, bye.